are you doing? So good to see you. Right? What you doing? How you feeling? You good? Welcome. Okay, as we move forward, we go deeper down a healthy rabbit hole. Yep, I'm teasing your mind. You know what I'm going to say. But is he going to do the hat thing? Drink water. Get your water. Get it. Get it. We're about to get deep. You know why? Because we're about to process the bullshit. Ooh, did he cuss? Totally did. Excuse my language. Not sorry at all. Here's what's up. We talked about reliving your past. We talked about what it actually is and how it affects the now, which now affects the future. The future becomes the past and all this stuff. Time isn't real. It's not a thing. It's a unit of measurement that is, it's singular. It's at a point. You are in a moment in time. That moment is gone. Now it's here. That's going. All that stuff. My point with this is how we process information is based on who we are, who we choose to be, who we want to be. So you got to look at yourself and go, how was I processing the information in my past? And how is that information going to be processed? What are you capable of processing right now? Everything has some type of shit associated with it. Everything has some bullshit. And I say this in the most authentic way. There are certain shit sandwiches that taste better than others. It's so easy to point out the things that we don't like. This is why it consumes us. The way we process, the way we look at information, the way we choose to see the shit that a lot of things are, is going to be the programming that you use in the future. So in this, we are going to talk about how you've probably processed it and new ways to process it. Healthy ways, things that actually move you forward. With that said, let's talk about it. Most things don't deserve our full attention. Just because you have a thought or they say something, that doesn't mean it's yours to react to. Practice recognizing things you don't like and simply ignoring them. I talk about this all the time. This relates into every other video. Just because you have an emotion doesn't mean you need to react to it. Just because there's data. Everything is data. You see what I'm doing with my, it's just information. It's just information. Let's try something, right? It's not even plugged in. Doesn't even matter, right? See, no light. There's no light. I was going to try and turn this on and see if I could do a demonstration. Okay, my point with that is it's just data. It's just information. Just because someone is having an emotional response to something, or just because a thought popped up from your past, it doesn't mean you have to stop what you're doing and give your full attention to it. If we did that, we would never move forward. The entire world, everything's asking for our attention. But what we give our attention to is how we process information. So I use this example in prior weeks. Someone walks through the door and starts spraying me down with water. I don't have to have a reaction, right? I don't have to. There's no obligation for me to give a specific response. I don't have to react. Everything is choice, including every thought you choose to think. Yes, you could be sitting here and a thought rushes in. This is called an intrusive thought. I didn't ask for that shot. It came from the past, but now that it's here, what am I going to do? Well, I can have an emotional reaction and go, damn, I'm such a bad person because you thought about kicking a puppy. I didn't ask for that. I'm not in control of the intrusive thoughts. I'm in control of how I respond to it. I'm in control of how I want to react to that. Some people go, ew, I'm such a horrible person. I thought about kicking puppies. There are people that actually act on that and kick puppies. That's ridiculous. That's also based on programming. They think that's cool. It's not. But then again, right and wrong is subjective. What's right to me could be wrong to you. What's wrong to you could be right to me. That's my point. Is that just because you have a thought, just because there's new information, it doesn't mean you have to stop and give it your full attention. Every time you do that, you're actually practicing disconnecting from yourself and going, what is it? At what point does it deserve your full attention? Think about this. Think of the things that you've given your full attention to, literally stopped you in your tracks, and you're going, aren't I supposed to do that? Doesn't it deserve my full attention? My example, the other day, I was sitting there, I was eating a bagel. Some guy walks up and beats the crap out of another dude and was like, where's my money? And I'm like, I'm just eating a bagel, right? It got my attention, but it doesn't deserve my full attention. There's a moment when I feel I need to get involved, when there's someone innocent being taken advantage of. Better bet I'm pulling my shoulders out. I'll be in your face. I'm a non-violent person, but that makes sense. It feels right. If I can stop someone from getting hurt because another unhealthy person is flipping out, and if I can improve the situation with my knowledge or even my body, then it makes sense. But just because something is happening over there doesn't mean it deserves my full attention. What I did was, I sat pretty, I continued eating my bagel. From my peripheral vision, I let it ensue. I actually watched other people give their full attention. They stopped eating the bagel, whatever they were eating, and they watched this thing happen. I'm not saying they're unhealthy people, but there's no reason to give your attention to something that, first off, isn't yours. Second off, you have nothing to do with. Third, even if you did give your attention to it, nothing would be different. You choose to ignore it. Now, doesn't mean you're not aware of it. You're not giving your attention. The thing you're in control of. If I stop and give my attention to this unhealthy situation that's unfolding, that I'm not involved in, that I didn't ask for, that just showed up randomly, just as simple as a bee on my shoulder, then I'm handing my emotions over to someone else that's unhealthy. They're not even in control of themselves. They're beating some other person up. So for me to give my full attention without it being actually warranted, then I'm practicing disconnecting from myself and getting involved in things that are not important. It sucks you got beat up, bro. I don't care. It does. I feel for you, dude. I was beat up my whole life. I got funky ears, my jaw's all sideways. I've been left for dead numerous times. But I'm not getting involved in that. It's not because I'm anxious. It's not because I've got a problem. It's because I choose not to give my emotions to things that don't involve me. And I also choose not to get involved in things that aren't mine to get involved in. Once again, there's a point when the superhero needs to come out. Until that point, it's not my business. So we've got to look at these things. Where are you investing your time? Do you really care what they have to say? Or have you just practiced caring about the crap that falls out of their stupid mouths? You've been caring about what they think, what they feel, how they're doing things. Maybe you're over opinionated and you think that what you're saying or what you're doing actually matters or makes a difference. 90% of the reason we react is because we're out of control. Because we haven't practiced shushing ourselves. We haven't practiced shutting up. We haven't practiced processing the information and going, does it deserve my attention? We've just been told, it's not your thing, it is your thing, or you do this, or you're in circumstances, most of your life, where you have to react from a survival standpoint. Trust me, I developed an extreme amount of paranoia. I still have it from time to time. But I've practiced not responding to it, practiced knowing that it's not real, that my mind is doing something I didn't ask for, and the only thing I'm in control of is my response. This is a healthy practice, recognizing that you're in an unhealthy place, thinking an unhealthy thought, and then stopping it, or intercepting what you might do. An unhealthy person will get in the middle of that, will get in the middle of the argument, will get in the middle of the situation, and actually make it worse. It was just 2 people, now it's 4. We don't have to give our attention to that stuff. That's not something that healthy people do. You've survived it. Be proud of your success. Your journey is yours, and you deserve to celebrate your life in any healthy way that helps you continue living happy. Practice rewarding your healthy thoughts with water or words. Woo! You're doing it. You did it. You've survived absolutely every single thing that's ever happened to you. Nobody can take that away from you. You've conquered everything. Everything. She said that car accident, that death over there, you fell off the roof, the umbrella broke. Whatever it was, you survived the breakup and you thrived through it all. You thrived so far. This is where you are. Holy crap, dude. That's insane. I don't care where you are. You're here. You could be anywhere in the world. You could have let anything, all of that stuff, affect you, and you would still be unhealthy, but you let all of that stuff lead you to this moment. Holy crap, dude. Do you understand how powerful that is? Through all of that, you still care. You're still here. You're still killing it, man. What the? That's bananas. Look at that. Look at that. Nobody else could have done it the way you did. Nobody, because nobody is you. I'll drink to that, man. Good. I'm so proud of you. Like, you're killing it. It's okay to celebrate yourself. I just did. Why did I celebrate for you? Hopefully you're smiling. Oh my God. I do that. Dude, you're killing it, bro. I know I'm killing it. For no other reason than I'm just here. I'm happy. I'm killing it. Happiness and success is an ability. And I'm happy. So I feel successful. That makes me want to celebrate. There's no one way to celebrate. Everybody thinks we got to celebrate with alcohol. That's what we do. Put this poison in our bodies. Let's do it. It's poison. It's poison. Anything that's bad for us is bad for us. You think about this. No one's going like, hey, eat a whole bunch of fruit and sit in the sun for a while and eventually you'll get drunk. We're celebrating. Let's make it really easy to hurt ourselves. That's why most people drink alcohol and have unhealthy habits anyway. We think that, remember this, we think that whatever helps us feel good is good for us. PCP makes people feel great and it will kill you. Same with alcohol. Same with toxic relationships. But he makes me feel good on occasion. He's slowly murdering your mind every other day. But at least I have money, but you're miserable every other second. So we go like we survive this stuff. We feel good for this moment and we allow that to justify why we stay put. What are we doing? What? No. We think that because we feel good, we feel good. That's not how it works. From a scientific standpoint. From a biological standpoint, you don't have to kill yourself to start feeling something. We get so good at creating that happiness that we don't care how we get it. We become addicted to that feeling. And the process is just the process, how we get there. In the same concept of going, well, you're not drinking alcohol anymore. That's great, but you are pounding mouthwash. But you are doing this thing. This is where the whole concept of swapping addictions comes from. It's not the addiction, it's the feeling that you have. This is why when you live happy, when you live healthy, when you live forward, when you make moves, you constantly live in that place of happiness. You feel amazing all of the time. Even at your lowest, you're still having a great day. I can't remember the last time I had a bad day. It was a bad day. I had a long day. I had a frustrating day. But I didn't have like a day that I was just like, ugh. This is because I practice when I feel down. When I feel something that isn't congruent to the way I want to live. I want to live happy. If there's something that is less happy, I give it the attention that it deserves and then I move on. I don't have to feel a feeling for a certain amount of time, right? I don't have to. It's the same way with processing guilt and all those other things. Did you feel the feeling? Good, we're done now. We put so much pressure going, but they died. It's not that I don't care, it's I choose not to have an emotional reaction every time I think about it. I felt it. It sucked. I mourned. I went through the grieving process. It wasn't fun. We're done now. Right? This is why you can celebrate everything that you're doing. If you're here right now, go tell the world. Dude, I'm in module 4 of the Beyond Sober program, dude. I was chilling with Kohdi today. Dude, you wouldn't believe how good I feel. I didn't help you feel. I didn't do this. You did this. If you feel great, if you feel upset, that's your fault. Both of those. I can't take any credit for what you're doing for yourself. I'm just influencing the thoughts. You're allowing yourself to have them and choosing to have a positive response. That is success. That's happiness. That's what healthy people do. More proof that you're in a great place. Goodness gracious, you're killing it. God, that's just bananas. With that said, let's move forward. Everything is another opportunity to do it better. Good, bad, neutral. Every moment is another opportunity to master what you understand. The more time you spend processing your thoughts, the more you understand yourself. Ain't that the truth? Think about this. The more time you spend processing your thoughts, first off, the art of processing is successful. That's what healthy people do. Healthy people, or people who are practicing healthy behavior, sit and think about their thoughts. Why do I keep thinking that? Why does that keep popping up? Write it down. Think about this. Like when you're chilling, get a notepad, get your iPhone out or something, your Android, it doesn't matter. Write down those thoughts that you have. What's really interesting, you'll notice this, is as you try to focus on the thoughts you have, you actually disconnect from that thought and you think about the fact that you're thinking of the thought. And your mind is this incredibly complex, like molecular vortex of incredible, and it's dumb as a rock. It's just a lump of stupid that happens to be able to calculate like this centrifugal force. It's just crazy. Understanding that your brain is doing all this insane stuff at the same time is enough for you to go like, damn, I'm holding it together. With all of that stuff that's happening in my mind, I think I'm doing pretty good. I had to explain this to my fiance. I was like, I don't think you understand how difficult it is for me to make the bed. That's why I have a workflow. If I have to make the bed, this bed right here, there's 25 other things that are going to happen before the pillows end up on the bed, because there's a sock right there that needs to go over there, and then there's this thing, and then I got to, oop, there's a notification. Don't turn that on, I'll get lost. Oh, the bed still needs to be made. It's just forever. And then while I was explaining that situation to her, I didn't make the bed. The whole point was to make the bed and tell her at the same time. And then I forgot that I was making the bed, so I did all these other things. And then I looked at the bed and to remember that the whole reason I started the conversation was to make the bed and show her how difficult it was. And in that process, I got lost. And this is my mind. This is how I live. I'm doing pretty good. If I'm hanging out with you, goodness gracious, all the chaos that could be ensuing, and I'm here having a conversation with you, I think I'm doing pretty good. You're doing incredible, right? Every single moment, everything we see is another opportunity for us to do it better. Is there a better way for me to open this cap? I learned that every time I open it like this, I get splashed in the face. So over here, I don't like it. Is there a better way for me to consume this? A better way for me to get this protein? Better way to have a conversation? Every single thing that's happening to us is just information. It's another opportunity. Healthy people, like yourself, practice looking at things as an opportunity. You don't look at them as a risk. You may have opened up this program and go like, I may have wasted money. Most people are here going, this is an opportunity. This is something that can literally help me become superhuman. That's what CEOs do. That's what everybody, when you invest, when you start taking care of yourself, you spend money, you spend time, you invest time. You're not missing out on anything. You're not. You're finding a better way. This is an opportunity for you to improve and enjoy everything that's coming next. And because you're a healthy person, you're not worried about what's coming next. You're excited about it. You're like, dude, I have no idea what's on the way. But that's exciting. That's exciting, right? That's the whole point, right? When you go and look at things and go like, how did I have that thought? How did it show up? Why is it here? What's the point? What happened in my past? And how can I process this in a healthy way? You think the thought, and then you recognize what that emotion brings up, and you go, no, I don't want to feel that emotion. I'm here to practice. I'm here to practice having a healthy response to that information. Stop eyeballing this. I know you were thinking it. You may not be aware of it, but it was happening. Right? So when we bring up those thoughts, we're getting to know ourselves. We're not thinking those horrible thoughts so we can relive it. We're rethinking the things that developed us into the person that we are and going, how can I reprocess this information so I know what I need to know, I learn what I should learn from it, and use that as a reason not to go backwards. Not to go backwards. How do I use that as a catapult to move me forwards? This is because you don't like it. You don't like that data. You don't like the way you felt. You don't like what they said. You don't like what they did. You don't like that stuff. You're bringing it up to go, I had to get taken advantage of for $12,000 before I realized that that's the type of person I knew I shouldn't have worked with, and I did it anyway. I had to put myself in debt when I was first building my businesses. I had to learn the hard way. But I also learned that I enjoy learning the hard way. I have to hit myself super duper hard, and I have to feel it before I get it. That's just the way my mind works. A lot of other people go, you tell me what not to do, and I just not do that, and you're good. That's because you're a genius. You learn from other people's mistakes. That's magic. As a matter of fact, if you're learning anything right now, you've learned from all of my mistakes. You're a genius. You're a genius. Because you're taking this information in and going, he had to do it the wrong way, and then develop a full-on blueprint, understand it, teach it, practice it, deliver it, and you're benefiting from it. You're a genius because you're learning from all of my mistakes. I did it the wrong way. That's how I know how to do it the right way, because I chose to evolve. I chose to grow. I chose to take everything as an opportunity to do it better. And that's what you're doing right now. And I'm so proud. I'm going to drink to that. I'm so proud of you. Seriously, you're killing it. Let's move forward. It's only worth processing if it's contributing to your success. Death, violence, anger are things that don't contribute to your success. Evaluate what has priority now and do what's necessary to find happiness, then go back to the process. What this means is if you're in an unhealthy place, then if you are thinking unhealthy thoughts, practicing unhealthy thinking, and then you go back to the past and pull up those thoughts and pull up those situations and you try and evaluate them, if you haven't evolved into a healthier person, then you're the same person that's going to interpret that information in an unhealthy way. That's why we don't go back to the past. It's because until you become someone capable of processing the past in a healthy way, we're just going to continue reliving it and finding reasons to punish ourselves, generally with alcohol, generally with the bad habit, all of that stuff. This is why where you're at right now, this is why weeks in, you're becoming better, better, better. You're feeling more. You're starting to recognize your strengths, right? You're starting to recognize what you like, what you don't like. You're starting to do more things. You've done things you haven't done in years. You started writing things down. You started speaking to people. You started having conversations. You started developing all this stuff. You started really spending time with yourself, which means you're getting closer to being the person that can go back to the past and go, okay, I'm not going to have an emotional response to that. I've done that. We're done now. It doesn't mean it doesn't hold emotion. It means we're done reliving it now. You got what you're going to get out of it. The whole same concept as an ex-alcoholic. I've had the alcoholic experience. We're done now. I'm never having that experience again. Beyond sober. There's a place beyond sobriety, and that's where we are. We're not just living a sober life. All life is sober if you never had a problem with alcohol. You're living a happy life. You're living a successful life. You're living a life that you love to live, a life based in empathy and kindness. The same love that you give to yourself is what you get to experience life with. The more you love you, the more you practice you, the healthier of a version of you you become, the more love you generate for yourself. I'm going to tell you this right now. This is one of the most powerful pieces of information I could ever possibly deliver. I love you. I do. 100%. I love you. I have so much love for you. How do I have love for you? How is that possible? How can I give you love? The only love that I can give you is the love that I feel for myself. If you feel loved, then that's the amount of love that you've generated within yourself. You can't touch my love. You can't smell it. You can't taste it. I can touch you, and you're only going to feel what you're receiving. You're not actually feeling me. You're feeling the receptors in your body. I can touch you, but you're not feeling me. You're feeling the reaction of the touch your body is processing. Same with love. When I say I love you, you're going to feel the love that you have inside yourself. You're feeling your own love. This is why we live a healthy life, a life based in love. The more love that you create for you, the more you have to offer, the more you can love others, the more you can love on other people. This is why when we fall in love with people, we're actually just falling in love with ourselves. That person is just creating an environment for us to recognize how much love for ourselves we have. And it's that love that you have for you, that care that you have for you, that you're actually offering to your significant, to your children, to your family, to your friends. This is why you're in the most powerful position you've probably ever been in, is to recognize that love. If you've got a lot of love, then you're in an incredible place. If you don't feel that much love, perfect. You know exactly what you're working on. You're working on self-love. You're working on becoming healthy so you can recognize the amount of love that's actually inside you. Alcohol lowers that, completely diminishes it down to zero. And this is why we continue punishing ourselves, because we can't even recognize the love that we have within. And that's why I'm so proud of you. That's super duper powerful. I'll drink to that. Let's move forward. Your feelings are valid. That's not enough to continue hanging on to the past. You felt the feeling. They did the thing. That moment happened, and you are human. Of course, your feelings are valid. You don't have to feel them forever. You don't. I talk about this all the time. You felt the feeling. We're done now. Unless it's healthy for you, unless you enjoy feeling like crap, you're done now. We're done. Oh, I don't like that. Cool. Oh, I'm not going to continue just reliving that. If you are just continuing to relive that, you're just practicing that. You're good at it. You're just good at it. That's it. But if you're here, then you're practicing not reliving it in an unhealthy way. You're practicing processing the bullshit in a healthy way. Your feelings are valid. You are human. Things happened, and our feelings about them now don't change anything in the past. They change everything in the future. So yeah, they hurt you, and you being hurt is 100% valid. Whether they apologized or not, you still got hurt. Here's the thing. I say this all the time. I don't expect you to care about my feelings, but my feelings are valid. You know why? Because I feel them. I feel the feeling. Your thoughts on my feeling don't change the fact that I feel them. Your concepts on whether or not I should feel them don't change the fact that I feel them. It's toxic because I say it is. It's upsetting because I feel it. Your feelings are valid. That alone is enough for you to go, nope. Or, yep, bring it on. Nobody's justifying your feelings. Nobody needs to show up and say it's okay for you to feel like that. If you feel like that, you feel like that. The feeling behind the feeling, how you feel about my feeling doesn't change the fact that I feel it. It's here. It is here. And now I'm processing the information. If you're not helping me process the information in a healthy way, then you're a toxic person. And I don't want to be around you. You're not helping me move forward. Get out of here. But so many of us have been programmed to go, this is all you're going to get. You have to deal with that person and their emotions. You have to take that toxicity because this is all you got. That's all we convince ourselves of. You know what's interesting? You know, the love that we accept is the love we feel we deserve. I'm going to say this again. The love we accept from other people is the love that we feel we deserve. If the love you're offering me ain't worth shit, I'm not accepting it. You don't have to either. If the way that I share my love with you is toxic, you don't have to accept it. When you love yourself, like we were just talking about, you recognize your value, recognize your worth, you know that you're a healthy version of you. You don't have to accept love in a specific way. Just because you're giving it to me doesn't mean I am obligated to accept it. I know what type of love I'm willing to accept and what I'm not. I know what I'm going to allow in my life and what I refuse to accept, period. But that all comes down to the way I've processed my past, the way I've processed the bullshit. I know that if I continue thinking that and accepting your love in that way, that I'm going to go feel this way and do this thing, and it's going to take over. And I don't like that. I refuse to accept it. It's a healthy boundary. No, not going to happen. There's no obligation. With that said, your feelings are valid. And if somebody isn't taking your feelings at their core, at their source, and accepting the fact that you feel them, regardless of how they feel about the same information, that's a toxic human being. You are not. And if you are, you don't want to be. That's why you're here. Accepting other people's feelings. Listen to what I'm saying. When you accept other people's feelings, how they feel about you, you may be the toxic person. I was the toxic person for years. I don't know how people dealt with me. I wouldn't. But the thing is that I don't have to combat or challenge or defend myself. I simply just have to accept the fact that they have that feeling. Kohdi, you're toxic. What? You're a toxic person. Okay, I understand how you feel like that. Maybe I'm just lying to you. Maybe I'm just accepting the fact that I have toxic traits. But if I'm getting good at accepting the way you feel about me and not applying an emotion, then I'm processing unhealthy information in a healthy way. That's the real. Everything is practice. So accepting the fact that someone feels that way about you or about your actions is enough for you to go, cool. You're also not giving your full attention to their feelings. Their feelings are also valid. They don't have to explain themselves. They have no obligation to share anything with you. But the reality is, is that you could only have the valid feelings and accept those valid feelings if you've practiced validating other people's feelings. Simply by saying, and you're right. It's okay for you to feel like that. I understand that you feel like that. In the same way that you go, I understand that I feel like this. I understand that my feelings are valid. It's a practice, right? No one's above anybody else. But where I am going with this is the way you feel about your past, the way you feel about what happened, you're right. You are right. And nobody needs to show up and tell you that it's okay to feel like that. Because I'm telling you, if you need someone to tell you, this is it. It's okay that you feel that way. You don't have to forgive them. You don't have to give in. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. It happened, it is, and it will forever be. We're done now, and I'm proud of you. I'll drink to that. You're killing it.